Again, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves, or a brand new transfer update and Wolves news update. How's it going? Hope you guys are all very well. My name is Dave, and as always, I'm going to be taking you through the latest Wolves news and transfer gossip. Make sure you hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks so much. Recently, we hit 4,000 subscribers. It means a lot. The channel is growing. The social media is growing. And obviously, hopefully soon, Wolves will make that first major capture during the transfer window. There is still some transfer news to go through, so obviously we'll be going through that now. But before we start off, make sure you go and check out our channel partners over at OneFootball. A link for them will be in the top of the description down below. Get all the latest on the football scores, football news. You can pick Wolves as your favourite team when you sign up for the first time, and all the news is catered to your needs. As I say, link in the description to download. And what a weekend it has been for Mr. Raul Jimenez. The Wolves number 9 has gone and won the Gold Cup with Mexico. They beat USA 1-0 last night. Jimenez actually grabbing the assist for the winning goal and also picking up the Golden Ball Award. I think he scored 5 goals in 6 games. We're getting 2 assists as well. Really good return and finishing off a fantastic 18-19 campaign for him. Obviously joining Wolves, a little bit of expectation on him. Did really, really well, and obviously finishing it off with a massive continental victory for Mexico as well. We'll stick on the theme of Mexico. Edson Alvarez, it's gone a little bit quiet on that front, but obviously now the Gold Cup is finished, we're expecting some sort of, you could say, some sort of finish to this saga that's going on. We're hoping that now he's back and finished, he's probably going to have a week off, and then whichever club are looking to sign him, because it's pretty obvious now that he's going to be leaving Club America, whichever club are looking to sign him will want him in their team for pre-season. It was said in a report in Record last week that Wolves had put a bid in alongside West Ham United and Ajax. I know a lot of people, whenever we've been talking about this, they say, no, he's going to Ajax, and then someone else will say, no, he's going to Wolves. There's one journalist in Mexico who's pretty persistent that he's going to Wolves, but Ajax, with the whole Delict moving to Juventus, it sort of makes sense for Alvarez to go to Ajax. Again, he could play centre-back or central midfield, but this report in Record had said that basically he'll probably go to the highest bidder, and I don't think Wolves will want to pay over the odds for him, but I think with the Jimenez link, everything about how well Jimenez has done, Wolves will probably push for this deal to go through. But as I say, I'd probably say he's similar to like a Dendoncker type player, can play midfield, can play centre-back as well. I know a lot of Mexican fans believe he's better as a midfielder, but I've seen good reports about him as a defender as well. So that is one that has potential to heat up in the next week or so. I think it's about half and half. I've seen plenty of Wolves fans just not believing anything about it. Some Wolves fans are sort of adamant that he's going to be coming to Wolves. Another one with a centre-back is regarding William Saliba. He plays for AS Saint-Etienne in Ligue 1 in France. Very, very good prospect, 18 years of age, broke through to the Saint-Etienne side last year and has been interested in the likes of Arsenal and Roma. Arsenal have had a bid rejected for Saliba and put in a second bid over the weekend. But it was Manu Longeon from Yahoo France, Yahoo Sport France, and he said now Wolves have approached Saint-Etienne regarding the potential of signing Saliba, as Wolves obviously trying to hijack the move from Arsenal, who have made their second bid. Roma are also interested in him. As I say, he's played sort of over 15-16 league games for Saint-Etienne last season, broke through there, so it'll be interesting to see if Wolves go for this. A lot of the youngsters, or a lot of players that we have been linked with, especially defenders, tend to be youngsters. And I think that would work well for Wolves with the amount of games that we're going to hopefully have if we break through to the Europa League group stage. We could test out a little bit more. And these young lads, we've got some weaker opponents coming up to start with in the early Europa League stages. We can really bed these young players into the squad if they were to sign. So he's the first one that we're going to be talking about today. We'll talk about a couple of outgoings as well. Obviously, Helder Costa is now gone. A lot more surprising for us in particular is that he's gone permanently. Leeds have obviously signed him on a year loan with the obligation to buy him next summer. Very, very similar to the Dendoncker deal where we loaned him last summer and the transfer was going through this summer regardless. This is the exact same for Leeds. He's on loan this summer and it's looking, well, it is likely that well, it isn't likely, it's certain that he's going to be joining Leeds United next summer on the obligation to buy. Few reports about how much money Wolves have made from this, but it's reported that Wolves made about £15 million, a couple of £1 million profit on what we paid for Helder Costa a couple of years ago. You could say that's a good thing because, you know, his performances as of late haven't been particularly impressive. But at the same time, you know, we've grown massively as a club since then. No doubt his wage has gone up since then. So, you know, Leeds are probably going to be paying the difference in that as well. No doubt there are some clauses in that fee as well, but Leeds are really hedging their bets on going up this season. Will Norris as well is another player that is currently at Wolves. Didn't really get massive game time. In fact, I think he played about 30 seconds of our Premier League campaign, didn't he? Plenty of clubs are looking for him in on loan, League One and Championship clubs specifically, and it looks likely that Wolves will be loaning him out. I think this is good for Norris. You know, I don't think he was going to get major game time unless John Ruddy or Patricio gets injured, but you know, he does have a couple of players to knock back before he would get a shout in goal. So I think Patricio and John Ruddy are going to be the two goalkeepers this season. Wolves have been linked with a couple of goalkeepers. I'd imagine Andreas Sondergaard will come in as a third choice for Wolves. But it's a good move for Norris. We all know he's a talented young goalkeeper, but he's not going to gain much. He's not going to, you know, learn much by sitting on the bench or travelling with Wolves first team every day and not even getting the chance to, you know, play. I think he played 1 or 2 under 23 games, but Sondergaard was the main man. So imagine Norris gets loaned out, which would be good for him, and Sondergaard comes in as the third choice goalkeeper unless Wolves do bring somebody else in. Another player that's wanted on loan is Morgan Gibbs-White. A lot of clubs apparently are looking at him on loan, but Wolves have refused a number of inquiries as they're hoping that Morgan will be a big member of the Wolves first team this coming season. I think it's right. I think, you know, our central midfield numbers are actually quite light for a team that play with 3 central midfielders. And I think Morgan is going to be a big part of that, especially in Europe. I think he's got to take his chance this season. And if he does, he's going to break into the England setup, which will be massive for him as a player, massive for Wolves. We all know he's got potential. He's just got to knuckle down and crack on with it, Morgan, because we all know he's a cracking player. Some of the vision that he showed at times, some of the flair he showed at times last season was unbelievable. So I'm really hoping that he could break into the first team and have a really, really good run, whether it just be in the Europa League or whether he can break in the first team in the Premier League as well. That would be fantastic. Another one which is quite comical, really. We put this on the Twitter and I don't think many people appreciated it. The Italian outlet Sport Media said that AC Milan have offered Andre Silva plus 15 million euros for Ruben Neves. Pretty embarrassing offer. I'd be embarrassed if I was Wolves and we had that offer in. Andre Silva, somebody who did thrive under Nuno, to be fair, but struggled over the last couple of years. Plus £15 million for Ruben Neves, who has been sort of a mainstay in the Wolves team and one of the best prospects in the country right now, you could say. Really, really cracking player, Ruben. And they're on about that deal. And the worst thing about this was that AC Milan fans were sort of adamant that this was going to go through and sort of adamant that this was a good offer. I think Wolves fans were just, it was a bit of a head in hands moment. So £15 million plus Andre Silva for Ruben Neves. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that's an embarrassing offer? Because I certainly do. Pretty poor offer there from AC Milan. There's a number of Wolves youngsters as well coming through. Wolves are bringing in a massive amount of players to come into the under-18s and under-23s. I think I'm going to do a more in-depth video on it because I've got a big list of players that have joined recently and that are currently on trial. I think eventually I will do a video maybe closer to the season. But another player that Wolves have brought in is a young, talented 16-year-old called Lee Harkin. He's an Irish youngster. He's had trials at Manchester United and Celtic. Signed a 3-year deal at Molineux. And the article was actually from BBC, who attached a video to it. It was like the Irish local news, and it was him and his family and stuff. And they showed highlights from a Northern Irish competition last season, and he absolutely ripped Manchester United a new one. I think he's an attacker or a winger, and he's so quick. And every time he was 30 yards out, he'd chip the goalkeeper. It was unbelievable. Lee Harkin is one player that has joined, alongside, I know, another couple of players that have joined Wolves on youth contracts. obviously Wolves hoping that they can join as professionals as well and do the business. Another club, a couple of rumours to finish us off. Walter Kahneman, I know he was linked in our last video. No clubs have offered Gremio directly for him, but the player's agent Martin Weinbuch says that Wolves have been in contact to inquire about the Argentine. But as I said, Gremio have said there have been no offers for Kahneman. And another centre-back that Wolves were linked with last week was Benoit Badiashile. This guy looks an absolute tank. Ligue, he played 20 games last season for a struggling Monaco side. But again, he's a very young player. I think he's 18 years of age as well. That came from L'Equipe. And they valued him at £40 million. But for some reason, loads of outlets twisted it and said that we'd bid £40 million for him. We haven't. That's what they valued him as. But he's a tank and he looks like a player. You know, imagine him and Bolly either side of maybe someone like Cody. Teams are going to be frightened of that. But that's, again, another one to keep our eye out on. A lot of links coming to and from France, including Wolves. However, there has been one rumour today, Diego Costa. I know somebody will ask me about it in the comment section down below. Diego Costa, there's nothing in it at the moment. I know there were links a couple of months ago, but apparently, Raul Jimenez has said there's an attractive offer from an English team. I think it was a Sportsman or something like that, a big social media page has thought, oh, Raul Jimenez, oh, Wolves, let's link them together. I believe Everton are the favourites to sign Diego Costa, but yeah, don't ask me in the comment section down below, because at the moment, there's nothing in Diego Costa to Wolves. Although Diogo and Diego up front, it would get confusing, but I'm sure there's a chant in there somewhere. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm just fingers crossed now. I think there's 4 or 5 weeks left of the window. I'm hoping 3 or 4 players come in. Maybe we'll have a player come in every week. That would be an ideal scenario. Or maybe there's just one player waiting for that grand Shanghai Megastore opening. He's going to be there in a brand spanking new third kit. Who knows? Let's hope and dream. Make sure you hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. And I'm sure I'll see you all very, very soon.